I didn't know at the time, but the first sign of something wrong hit me in the quietest way possible. A text that never came. My phone sat on the kitchen counter, buzzing with missed calls that I barely noticed at first. "Where are you?" I had written twice, each time feeling a twinge of unease when her reply didn't come. When she finally answered, it was with a casual, "I'm just out with a friend. Don't worry." I believed her, at least for the moment. I wanted to believe her. It wasn't until that evening, when she didn't return home at the usual hour, that my worry became sharper. I paced the living room, replaying the day in my mind, her strange pauses when I asked simple questions, the way she avoided eye contact when I mentioned dinner plans, the faint scent of something I couldn't place lingering on her coat. Something in me whispered that it wasn't just another late night with a friend. I tried to shake it off. Maybe I was overthinking. Maybe it was just a moment of paranoia. But the missed calls kept piling up, and when I saw her phone buzz repeatedly with names I didn't recognize, my stomach sank. I forced myself to take a deep breath and call her back. She answered on the second ring, laughter in her voice that didn't reach her eyes. "Everything's fine," she said. "Really? Don't worry." I wanted to trust her. I clung to the memory of mornings spent sipping coffee together, of her hand brushing against mine on lazy Sundays. But as the minutes stretched into hours, the warmth of those memories began to twist, turning familiar routines into potential lies. The small things, her sudden secretive glances at her phone, her quick exits to take calls outside, the faint perfume that didn't smell like her usual scent, accumulated into a weight I couldn't ignore. It wasn't until the text arrived that I understood what was happening. I had been sitting in the car outside a restaurant she mentioned earlier, hoping it was true, when her message lit my screen. "Don't wait up. I'm going to be late." Something about the phrasing was off. Too casual. Too deliberate. I checked the timestamp and realized she had sent it while supposedly out with a friend. An impossible timeline. My chest tightened, and I knew I had to see for myself. I drove aimlessly at first, a mix of hope and dread pulling me forward. Eventually, I found myself outside the city, hotel she'd never mentioned before. My heart hammered against my ribs, every step toward the entrance feeling both inevitable and horrifying. I didn't want to see it. I wanted to turn around, to convince myself I had misread everything. But the sound of laughter through the slightly ajar door, the unmistakable figure of her leaning into someone else, it shattered what little composure I had left. I froze. I wanted to scream. I wanted to turn and run. But something deeper, a blend of disbelief and pain, rooted me in place. I watched as she reached for him, her hand brushing his in a way that had once belonged to me. I could feel the betrayal in my bones, a cold, sinking realization that the life I thought we shared had been built on fragile, crumbling lies. When she finally noticed me standing there, the color drained from her face. She started, but the words faltered. I didn't wait. The door swung open before she could close it, and I stepped inside, every heartbeat a thunderclap, her eyes filled with guilt, but I barely registered it. The hotel room, once anonymous and impersonal, had become a stage for my heartbreak. "I lied," she whispered, voice trembling. "I told you I was with a friend." I cut her off, not with anger, but with a quiet devastation that had been building inside me for hours, days, maybe months. "Why?" The single word hung in the room, heavy and accusing. Her shoulders shook. I don't know. It just happened. I didn't plan it. I didn't mean for you to find out this way." I stared at her, at the evidence of what I had suspected but never wanted to confirm. Every memory, the dinners, the quiet talks before bed, the plans for the weekend, suddenly felt like a cruel joke. And yet, beneath the hurt, a strange clarity emerged. I realized that the love I had carried didn't vanish, but neither could I continue carrying the weight of someone else's betrayal. I walked out of that hotel room with trembling legs, leaving her there with her excuses, her apologies, her regret. The cold night air felt like a rebirth. Painful, yes, but honest. I didn't look back. I wouldn't. That night, I drove home alone, replaying every moment, every lie, every truth I had ignored. And for the first time, I understood that self-respect isn't loud or vengeful. It's quiet. It's steady. It's leaving what's broken behind and trusting yourself to rebuild. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this. Betrayal cuts deep, but it also teaches. And I am learning slowly to stand again,